Did you know that people who live in South Australia are the most satisfied with their sex lives? Well, the results from the Great Australian Sex Census are in.
Results show that only 23% of singles are happy with their time between the sheets or anywhere else. Dating couples scored a 61% satisfaction rating, while only 44% of married couples are content with their bedroom activities.
Now, the results also show that 71% of males fantasise about having sex with a co-worker.
Oh, God. And
females still love a tradie. Who knew? They've been voted the sexiest men in the country.
So, technically, I'm already uncomfortable with this.
Sexologist Dr. Nikki Goldstein is here with more of the latest findings from the redhotpie.com.au sex census. Hi, Nikki.
Hi.
Overall, men or women, who are the most satisfied?
Well, this is going to sound really backwards of me, but I thought it would be men, and it was actually women. So 55% of women and 42% of men said they were the most satisfied with their sex life. So I think maybe men are doing something right and maybe women are doing something wrong these days.
The survey also found that people who work in accounting and finance are among the least satisfied. I thought they'd be better with their figures. What effect does career have on a sex life?
Well, I think you've got to take into consideration that if you're working long hours and you have a high level of stress, then you might not want to have sex all the time. And I think that's natural. So it's not necessarily a relationship problem, it's a lifestyle problem. But if it's not addressed, it might turn into a relationship problem. So you might need to work around your schedule, make compromises, and you don't necessarily have to go the whole 9 yards in order to be intimate with someone. So there are other ways.
Yeah.
Okay, a very high percentage of men and women said that they did not fake it in the bedroom. I mean, do people actually tell the truth in these surveys?
Or do they fake it?
They fake it about faking it.
Well, I think with sexuality surveys, you know, we have to consider that there is a high percent of false reporting. So even though studies like this are anonymous, people are still a little bit fearful about admitting online or even to themselves about what their sexual desires and thoughts are. So, you know, if we do have a large enough sample, it does tend to get evened out, but that is something to consider when you are looking at the results.
Approximately 15,000 people took part in this survey on redhotpie.com. Do we need to be mindful of anything when we're looking at these statistics, like maybe the sort of people who would be on redhotpie.com.au?
Well, the study was done.
Would be more sexualised.
The study wasn't done with everyone that was on that particular website. It was the general public as well. But, you know, I think these studies are very useful, but we shouldn't use them as a comparison of normality. So it gives us an average result, but it doesn't show us what is normal when it comes to sex.
Okay, I'm going to look down here because there's lots of stats. 44% of married couples said they were happy with their sex lives, which means 56 aren't. 45% of males and 41% of females said they've cheated. I mean, how do you tell your partner you're not satisfied without making them feel inadequate?
Well, it's one of those hard things to have a conversation about, but there are little tips that you can do to make it run a little bit more smoothly. So picking the time and the settings, I wouldn't say in the bedroom when someone's really tired and stressed. Also giving them a positive statement. So before you're going to criticise about something or present something negative, saying something that you do like, also reassuring them that you love them. Language is another one you need to be careful. Don't use accusing statements. Don't use you too much. And also to give them a solution. You know, there's no point in giving them a complaint without giving them hope that there's something to work on.
We mentioned in the introduction that people in South Australia are the most satisfied when it comes to sex. They're in the city of churches with that nice little Lutheran belt around it. How do the other states rate here?
Well, Tasmania was the lowest with 44.4%, but surprisingly, New South Wales wasn't far in behind that with Tasmania was 44.4, New South Wales was 44.5, but my homeland of Queensland was 49%. So for this study, I'm going to claim myself as a Queenslander.
Oh, that's all those bikinis.
I think so.
Okay, yeah.
Well, that coconut.
Because we run around on the beach all day.
Okay. That's interesting stuff.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
It's good to have a look at what everyone else is doing. I think sometimes it's relieving when you read that there are other people who might be doing or thinking the same thing that you're thinking.
Yeah, thank you.
You've got a dirty mind.
Why?
Well, because what Queenslanders go... you said Queenslanders go off because of the bikinis and the coconut oil.
Yeah. Well...
It's a bit of a generalisation.
Are you moving to Queensland now?
Yes, possibly.
Yes, Jetstar does fly to Brisbane.
There you go.
Good to see you,
Thanks,
Professor.
Nikki. If you want to know where you can find more results from the Great Australian Sex Census, head to our website.
Or to Queensland.